Hi, it's Dan here from Flexxable. And could it be that AI is bigger than the internet, mobile, and cloud combined? I don't know. Let's dive in. I'm nowhere near smart enough to kind of make a call on that type of thing. However, the CEO of Airbnb, who obviously runs a pretty big company, I think his name's Brian Chesky. I just was checking a YouTube video the other day, and he really does believe that AI is going to be bigger than mobile, the internet, and cloud combined. And that's a pretty scary thought, right, about the kind of revolution that we're entering now. But with that kind of massive change that's going to happen, there's obviously going to be a lot of opportunity, right? And what I'm teaching here and you know what my channel about is kind of just really about lead generation, right? But I want to give you a kind of understanding of how this is going to start changing as we grow to learn more about the capabilities of what AI can help with, right? And a good example of this is I just got off the phone with my best friend, right? He was the best man at my wedding. He's a plastic surgeon in Sydney, and he's very successful, and he runs a great practice, and he's a very, very talented surgeon, and he's very busy, does a lot of work, and has a big team and all of that type of stuff. And I often have a chat to him about what we're doing, because he was probably my first client back in the day when I started, right? So he's been through this whole journey with me, and I've kind of helped him. And what usually happens is I help him, we get some results, and then I argue. He's my best friend, right? So the lines between kind of professionalism and friendship is sometimes blurred. And you know, he's a surgeon and I'm a marketer, and a lot of the times we're kind of butting our heads against each other, right? And we always kind of do some good stuff together, and then we'll butt heads, have a little argument, decide that we shouldn't work together because we're buddies, and then we do it again. And this cycle happens like at least once a year, every year, and it's pretty funny. But anyway, I was just chatting to him then, and I said, listen, we've got this opportunity now with AI to really start changing some businesses, and we're on the cutting edge of what we're doing. We have this thing called a sales android, which helps with contact rates and speed to lead, all that cool type of stuff. And rather than me kind of forcing it down his throat, what I said to him is, how do you think like AI can help you? Business owners right now are they're aware of it, right? They just don't know what they need it for. And even more, they don't know how to implement it, right? They've got no idea how to do this, which is where we come in, right? As marketers, as someone that I think marketers are usually about a year ahead of the rest of the planet. And he came back to me and he said, well, there's a few things. We're generating about 150 leads a month coming into our system, and I think we're converting 20% to consult with him. That's a paid consult, and I think he closes a large proportion of those, right? He said, you know, to be fair, we call them back pretty quickly, and you know, it's working and we're happy with it, right? So there wasn't really a big need for him to come on with the speed to lead type stuff, right? Which is what our sales android does. Spoke to him about out of hours leads. I didn't feel a lot of pain there. Like I've learned to kind of listen to what he says and try and force something down his throat. It doesn't really work. So I said, what else you got going on? And he said, well, I tell you what, like it's really painful when I have to get my nurse to follow up with people after they've had the operation with their aftercare type stuff, right? So dressing changes and I don't know, all of that type of stuff, right? And I sensed a real pain from you know what he's doing, because it's clunky, it's messy, there's a lot of manpower required in order to get that information to the individuals after the surgery. And then I said, so how do they find that information? He said, well, they've got a published nurse's handbook, which has got all of that information, and if they have this problem, do this. If they have that problem, do this. And then I realized it was a really good opportunity for us to trial like an aftercare android, right? Which is where as soon as the client has been through the journey from kind of lead to consult to surgery, as soon as that hits that point in their CRM, we can hit zap or hit that button in their CRM, which can then instigate our system, our aftercare android, right? So the first question could be something like, hey, it's Dr. So-and-so here. I hope you're recovering well. Are you experiencing any pain? And then after that, once they get back, that can instigate the AI, and it can ask and engage with them and answer all sorts of questions and send them the right answers depending on where they're struggling at the moment. And when I explained this to him, it's when the penny dropped about how powerful this could be, because I think he requires a couple of nurses to do this role, right? And I don't think the nurses like doing it because it's quite laborious and kind of repeating the same answers over and over again. And it also costs him a lot of money, right? So, this conversation opened my eyes to the fact that the solutions that we're starting to provide, I think, there's a new term being called like an AI automation agency, which I think is going to be a big thing moving forward. But it opened my eyes to the solutions that we're able to offer businesses that they struggle with, right? And they've got zero idea how to implement, and even zero idea of what it can do. So when he heard this, and this is what was able to do, it's like it was just a penny drop moment for him. So a few things to kind of take away from this video today is that first of all, when you're having conversations with clients, whether they be like best friends like mine, or a kind of someone that's warm, or even a cold prospect, right? You have to listen to what they're saying, right? Don't try and force a solution down their throat. I call it like a doctor's diagnosis, right? You go through and you listen to them, and then you offer them a solution to where their pain is, right? And that works super well. So the first thing is that when it comes to offering AI services, don't be stuck on that one thing that you do. You might be able to learn and implement other solutions that suit their business, and it's not really that hard, honestly. It requires a little bit of tech setup. There's plenty of people that can help with that. And the second takeaway is that I think this guy from Airbnb, could be right. Okay, I think that there's going to be a boom in what we're able to, us agencies or people that deal with clients, we're going to be the bridge between AI and the client, right? They've got no idea how to implement it. And this can be done for all types of business owners, right? This is not just something that's going to be applicable to the big companies. This can help the small business that is, got one employee, but getting leads that they can't deal with, right? There's opportunities across the spectrum that you need to be jumping on top of if you are an agency owner. Okay, I'm super excited about it. Saying that, I was just having a WhatsApp conversation with an old client this morning. This is a bit of a side note, but on a completely different end of the spectrum, he's got 100,000 leads coming in a week from a third party. And what they need to do is contact those 100,000 leads per week and move them to a different offer if they're a good fit for that offer, right? And at the moment, he's got a team that's trying to dial these leads, dial, and pick up the phone automatically. And that takes a lot of time and effort. And when I told him about what we can do with contact rates and speed to lead and all that type of stuff, he was just like, where do I sign up? Where do I get started? Okay. And when you combine it with a dialer and like SMS or WhatsApp or whatever with AI, things are going to get super spicy pretty quickly. Okay, so I probably overwhelmed you a little bit with everything I've spoken about today. It does really, it's mind-boggling how big the opportunity here is for us agencies. We've got what we call like an any niche sales android. And what that does is it asks you the industry that you're in and what you're selling. And if you can put that information in, there's a link below in the description. You'll be able to go through this and have a play with AI and see what it looks like. And it's pretty cool. You can try and break it. I'm not trying to sell you anything or whatever, but it's definitely worth a shot. Please subscribe to our channel if you want to be the first to know when we create new videos. And please give us a thumbs up so we need to create more videos like this. I'll speak to you soon.